Greetings, all. It's Max, and we're back. We're doing another movie review, except this time it's going to be secular. And the reason for that is because PureFlix, it doesn't show up on my computer, my second monitor. It has a problem with whatever's going on in my browser. Some movies play, some movies don't. I don't have time all the time to sit down in front of my television and run it through that and sit there and watch it, especially if a lot of these movies aren't very good. So, what I watched on Netflix was called The Family Man. Came out in the year 2000, starring Nicolas Cage. Now, what I have to do now is take points away from the movie called What If... I have to take the Sorbo points away, where that movie now gets an 8 because they copied this movie beat for beat, every single thing, except they added Christianity. Why did this movie not go Christian or at least spiritual? No idea, because it is the same story. It's about a guy who has a really successful life, and then he, left his girlfriend or his true love, and he is allowed to experience what his life would have been like had he not went after the money. It's the same movie as What If. What If came out in 2010. This came out in 2000. This stars Nicolas Cage, Téa Leoni. It's an okay movie. It's okay. But the spiritual aspect is done away with I guess, Nick Cage had a dream or something by the end of it. And, it wasn't bad. There were some funny moments. The acting was okay. I don't like Téa Leoni, and she won an award for this movie. No, she's not very good. This is before Nick Cage had money problems and made just crap for 10 years. He did good. There were some really good elements to the movie. IMDb, of course, it says up here 6.7 out of 10. I'll give it a 6. It's not a very original concept, but that's okay. But there's no spiritual element to it. Like I said, it is a secular movie. That's fine. You have the exact same thing where you have Cliff Clavin in What If is actually an angel, and he says it. The man upstairs told me to come down here and do this. He says it, whereas in this movie, it's Don Cheadle, who's just a guy. And he's actually a very bad guy because he's a robber who robs stuff in the beginning. So I don't understand really what sort of message they're trying to make out of the movie, other than just being entertaining. I think they wanted to steer as far away from any sort of spiritualism or Christianity as they possibly could. 6. It's going to be a quick review because if you see my review on What If, you already know what's going to happen with The Family Man. I like Nick Cage, so I'm like, oh, Nick Cage, it's one of the only movies I haven't seen with him in it. Okay. And yes, I did like Ghost Rider. I did like that movie. Directed by Brett Ratner. Okay director. The only thing that I liked that he did was Rush Hour. I like Jackie Chan too. All right. And everybody won awards for this. Best Actress, Téa Leoni. Best Fantasy Film. Okay. Best Fantasy Film, with even on IMDb it says it's a 6.7. No. No. You're going to tell me 2000, 1999, 2000 is when The Matrix is out. And you're going to tell me The Family Man wins a Saturn Award? In fantasy category. Okay. Well, that's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. So, what I have to say is, overall, the acting is pretty good. Like I said, I don't like Tia Leone. I just dislike her for some reason on screen. I don't like Don Cheadle either. In this movie, he's good, but he's in Iron Man, and he doesn't fit the part. And Marvel Studios apparently cheated the actor who originally played Rhodey in those Iron Man films out of like $6 million, which is why he's not in those other movies. And they gave it to Don Cheadle. And Don Cheadle doesn't fit the part for those movies. But he's good in this. Okay? He is good in this. For the 2 minutes that he's on screen. And he's I guess not an angel. I mean, nobody ever says it. But he happens to be in all these places to where their plot points need to meet up. It's your writing trope. But you can't make him supernatural. You can't even reference that. But he always seems to happen to be there. We're making it like a dream. So the entire thing is just a dream in the guy's head. I mean, about the whole changed life thing. It's just a dream. There are no stakes on the table anywhere in this movie. There are no stakes at all. I don't know if I'll get into spoilers here. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'm going to spoil it because it's bad. You know, it's not worth watching. It is like 2 hours and 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Nick Cage is pretty much a billionaire who goes to sleep. He's still apparently, no, he's not even Christian in this movie. He goes to sleep and wakes up with a family next to his old girlfriend. Okay. And apparently it tells you in the movie he spends 3 weeks with his family. And he's trying to figure out, you know, if his life would have went this way, this is what it would look like. That's what it's trying to tell you. But then Don Cheadle comes back and says, yeah, it's time to go home. You got to go back now. And of course, you know, Hollywood trope. Oh, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. And he goes back and he's back in his old life where he has all of his money, all of his stuff. He's got his woman. He's got his cars. He has everything. And he goes to meet, you know, his old girlfriend in whatever life, the present day life. And she's rich too. I don't see a problem anywhere here for the actors, or not actors, for the characters. I don't see a problem for the characters anywhere. Where is there a problem that they actually have to overcome? They're both ridiculously rich. And if anything, the whole thing about showing Nick Cage's character about the life that he could have had is like, good thing you didn't do that, man. Good thing you didn't do that. Because now you get to have the girl and you get to have all this stuff. And now she's making a bunch of money and you have a bunch of money and you can do whatever you want to. And that's Hollywood for you. But by all means, give these people awards for this. Poorly done. Poorly directed movie. I like Nick Cage. He gets Nick Cage point. Otherwise, it'd be a 5 out of 10. I'm doing a 6. 6 out of 10. The Family Man. Secular movie review from 2000. With that, we are going to be out of here.